Hi everybody, we're talking flying today. Now most of my friends and family knows I'm a very nervous flyer. I do it anyway because I like to get from point A to point B the easiest and the quickest I possibly can. And in my mind, I know that it is the safest way to travel, but my body tells me differently. You see, on a sensory level for me, I'm a sensory root, which means I have very low thresholds. That means I need less input, less stimulation, less movement, less sounds. That's where my comfort level lies. So with flying, what happens for me is if we get to turbulence and there's additional movement, it doesn't make sense to my brain. And then my logical thinking goes haywire because I think, how on earth can a plane this heavy and this big stay in the air? Again, I know that it's possible because it happens each and every day a million times. I know it's the safest way, but my body's reaction is different. You see, what happens is with my autonomic nervous system, which is your system that either goes into your fight, fright, or flight reactions, which is more your alertness, or it goes into your rest and digest, which is your parasympathetic side, which is more your relaxing, calming, and comforting side. When I have to fly and there is unpredictability, maybe a little bit of turbulence, maybe it's overcast and I can't see outside, I can't see what's happening, then my body reacts in a sympathetic nervous system manner. So my palms get sweaty, my heart starts racing faster. It's really a difficult setting for me. Reason being, if you look at the senses, first, as I said, with movement, there's additional movement which I have no control over. I think that's a big thing for me with flying. You can't stop the plane and say, okay, I had enough, give me a break. You kind of just have to put on your big girl panties and just push through. Secondly, with vision, it's for me a really difficult setup if I can't see what's coming, if I can't see what's going to happen. So let's say I have to fly at night and I know there's thunderstorms. For me, it would be better to sit in the window seat so that I can see what's happening outside, because then I have that forewarning. It really makes a big difference to me. For that particular reason, I always pre-book my seat, or I usually do, and preferably next to a window. And even better, I would use the exit row, even though it costs me a little bit more, because then I have that extra room space and I have extra space around me. You see, my tactile sense also has low thresholds. So when I'm nervous, I don't like people to be in my bubble. I need a little bit of extra space at that stage. Now, the one other sense I want to talk about when it comes to flying, and this might make some of you really laugh, is sounds. You know, while you're flying and you think you're hearing a sound, and my mind jumps to the worst conclusion. You know, something has fallen off, something's wrong with the wind. It might just be regular sounds in an airplane, but for me, it really is that extra sounds. I hear all the noise because my brain is more aware of all the input around me, and that also makes me more nervous, and it causes a more stressful situation for me. So when I need to fly, I do all my pre-planning. I check the time of day, and I prefer, like for instance, if you're flying, I'm in George in South Africa. If I have to fly to Johannesburg, if it's during summertime, no way you're going to find me on a 4 p.m. flight because the chance of a thunderstorm is quite big. So I really pre-plan and I make sure that I choose the time and day that suits me best. On that day, I would wear my most comfortable clothing. I'll make sure I'm at the airport way ahead of time, that nothing is rushed. And then on the plane, it might sound funny, but firstly, deep breathing. If I really feel things are not feeling right in my body, even though I know we're safe, I would do a few good deep belly breaths. And then I always tell my friends and family, and use it, don't use it. For the rest of the flight, if it's a late afternoon or an evening flight, a combination of prayer and good wine usually gets me through. But that's just a little bit about me and my fear of flying. I'm very aware of the fact that it is due to my low sensory threshold. So for that reason, I do fly. I go in little planes and big planes. I still continue with life and get to all the beautiful places that I want to get to. But I make sure that I can pre-plan and have at least a little bit of control of the situation. Thanks for listening. See you next time. Bye-bye.